to my channel. Today I want to talk about loneliness, which is something that a lot of us can experience, especially this time of the year, and of course, especially during COVID, and we're not able to get together for holidays. And yet loneliness is something that many of us can feel throughout our lives. And when we feel loneliness, it's both in our mind, in what we think, and in our body and heart and soul. And that's what I want to talk about today, is some ways to deal with the loneliness, especially in this dark season. So for those of you who saw my first video, you'll know that I often talk about things that we can do easily and we have with us all of the time. So what I want to talk about is our face again and our breath, remembering that we're always taking our face and breath with us wherever we go. So to help change those feelings that we might be feeling just really deep in our heart or our shoulders or our stomach, allow yourself to breathe. And just remembering the breath sort of massages the lungs and the hearts and our nervous system. So just imagine it just massaging you. And again, remembering, even though you're not pretending to be happy, but relaxing your face and just doing a little smile like this can sometimes send some different messages to our brain. And so just always remembering these things are what we can always do. Now, what I want to remind you is that when we're lonely, we're missing other people or connections with other people and things in our lives. And so what I want you to do is to start to develop a connection with yourself. And that means that if I want someone to listen to me and to support me, I'm going to say I feel really alone and I'm lonely. And so what I want you to do before we even start any more today is I want you to validate that for yourself. I want you to say it out loud to yourself and just be able to hear it with your ears. Everything we do somatically can really, really make a big difference in how we feel and what we do. And so just validate, just pay attention to yourself, taking that breath and saying out loud, I feel lonely. Yes, I do. And then taking a breath, and always what we need when we feel in these ways is some sort of acknowledgement and comfort. And that's what you're doing. You're saying out loud and you're hearing, I'm lonely. But then maybe you want to respond to that with just crossing your hands, just like a butterfly hug, and taking a breath in an attempt to comfort and soothe the pain that you are feeling. And maybe you do what I also call the mother dance, is that you may sway back and forth, attempting to comfort yourself and paying attention to yourself. Ooh, yes, yes. And then another movement we can make that can be helpful is to open our hands to the world and just be able to look around and maybe even outside and just be aware of all of those people in the world today who are with you and probably feeling with you, and opening yourself and breathing, and then just trying to take that comfort in. just reaching your hands out to take in all of those thoughts and feelings and prayers and spirit of the entire world. Again, just having your arms go completely out and then in. And again, notice we're just comforting ourselves and then back and forth again. Yes, yes. And then again, reaching out and taking in the energy of all those people in the world who I know may be sending energy to you. Breathing in the spirit and the energy of all of those people in the world. Now, these are movements that we do because loneliness and these kinds of feelings aren't just in our minds, but they're also in our body. And sort of a nice movement that you can do that comes from something we call thought field therapy is just to put your hand on your heart and then start to rub there clockwise. And most folks will say that this is soothing and comforting to them. And so just let yourself tune in, again, befriending yourself, tuning in to possibly the change in your body when you do this. So I'm hopeful that these movements that we're doing today will help you feel a little more connected to yourself and to the rest of the world. And as I often like to end, I'm just going to end in a prayer, peace position. Take care and know that I am thinking about all of you.